Good morning. Good morning, WAVS listeners. You know, this Saturday morning, I am. I'm trying to. I'm trying to be dramatic. I want to get your attention. I want to wake you up to something that I'm observing. You know, this government shutdown, the tariffs, the Israel Palestinian situation, Jamaica, Melissa, there are just a lot of different things going on. And if you're able to step back, which, you know, after 2009, in 2009, you know, I was running a significant operation at an office in Sunrise by Sunset Strip. And, you know, we believed that the government would find the solutions. And when they didn't, I stepped back and started looking at who is running the government, who is influencing the decisions that government makes. Is it the voters? And I've always known that no, there's no group of voters except the unions or, you know, some other groups that but generally politicians say what they need to say to get voted in, and then they do what business does to keep supporting them, because it's business people who support politicians. Now, I did actually write a check to Barack Obama's campaign when he was Senator Barack Obama. But that was before 2009 when I realized how this system works. Now, I came back on the radio in 2016 and I came to talk about real estate, and I shared my experience with Bitcoin. I shared some other, things that I've been doing. I took the time to go on to Duke's show to promote myself as a that I'm back and I'm here. And I'm very grateful because I have consistently received a support and good business, you know. And I want to thank all of those people who over the years have reached out and given me the opportunity to work with them, given me the opportunity to help them with the situations that they were dealing with. But nobody has to come to me. You absolutely know you have choices, and that's great. But this morning, right now, November 2025, I want to bring something to your attention that I didn't come up with this in the last 2 weeks. This is 35 years of study, observation, and understanding. And I want to tell you what I see happening right now. The U.S. is revaluing its currency. It is doing so in a somewhat complicated process of tokenizing its assets and then, transferring that into a digital basis. So they're collecting a lot of gold. So is China. But they're going to move away from the gold standard, which they've never been on a gold standard. But they're going to offer a Bitcoin standard, and that is going to recalculate the entire global financial system. And that you're only, well, I don't know what your opportunities are, what type of investment you have available to you. But for the most part, real estate is one of the safest investments you can make. And this is specifically for people who might have been thinking about selling their real estate because there's a crash coming. hold on to your real estate. It will absolutely increase in value. However, the cost of holding on to that real estate is going, even if you paid off your mortgage, you're going to want to have some kind of insurance. You're going to have property taxes, whether you like it or not. You can manage these expenses using a reverse mortgage. It is something to consider. This country operates on debt. Yes, you just, am I sounding condescending? No, that's not my intention. If ever I have sounded condescending, just understand it's a certain level of frustration. Here's my life experience. When I was 18 years old and I became a mortgage broker, I thought that by the age of 20, everybody around me would realize how much money there was to be made in mortgages, and they would all become mortgage brokers. And they didn't. They continued doing what they were doing, and I grew my business, and I thought, okay, people around me are seeing how to grow a business. And no, they didn't. Few people around me opened their own business, and I came to the realization that there's a different way of thinking than my way of thinking. And that I am trying to share my way of thinking with you, understanding that most people do not think the way that I think. And that so many people almost feel, Dax, you don't understand what reality is, you know. You don't know how it really goes here. You have these ideas. And my son and I, when Vanya was away, he came and spent 3 weeks with me. And one of the conversations we had a couple of times was, Dad, you're this way. And I'm like, yes, I'm this way because this is how I have gotten to where I get to in life. That every time people tell me how I should behave, if I behave that way, I wouldn't be who I am. And I'm telling you right now, hold on to your house, figure out a strategy. Your house in the next 3 years is going to go up and up in value. And yes, by the way, after January, we're going to see a significant drop in interest rates. Get ready. It's a whole different game. Just don't be on the outside looking in. Get yourself ready. Develop your strategy. If you're looking for help, reach out to me. 954-866-2171. Again, that's 954-866-2171.